All right. So, um, today, in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna write queries on the database that we just built. So by now, you should have built your entire movie database and then also entered the data that is on the data models. You should have done all of that by now. If you haven't, don't watch this video yet. You need to go and do that part first because this is like this video is going to be us practicing writing queries on our database. Okay, so let's get that started. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my SQL server. Okay, so now I'm here in my server, and what I have done is in this, I've made a query.sql file. I haven't seen this before. This is just something that I'm doing here again, and this is just for practice. And so what I have is, I think it's eight different queries that we're going to start off writing. Okay, so basically we're just going to start with the first one and just work our way down practicing writing queries on this database. Okay, so before we start doing that, let's review the database real quick. So we have the following tables with actor, director, genre, movie, movie to actor, movie to director, movie to genre, movie to streaming, production, and streaming platform. Okay, and so these are the tables, and we're not going to even be using all these tables, I don't think, on this in these queries, but it's good to know what we have. Okay, and so now we can start working on the queries. Okay, so the first one's pretty easy. We're going to select the title, rating, and year released from each movie. And as you can see, I wrote all these as comments just so I can know what it is that we're trying to do. Uh, but we want to select the title, rating, and year release for each movie. Okay, so this one is pretty simple. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to select. Okay, let's get the title. We want the rating, and we want year released from movie. And that's it. Let me check and make sure that's how we spell those fields out. So if I want to do that, I'm going to say describe, DESC, movie. And yes, title, rating, and YR released. Okay, good. So that's great. So select title, rating, year release for movie. I'm going to copy this query and I'm going to paste it there in my SQL server. And there you can see the title, the rating, and the year release for each movie. Okay. So if you didn't receive this data here or something similar, if you didn't work with the movies that I had, come back over here, check your spelling, make sure you have commas where they need to be. Okay, but you should get the total, like every single movie in your table, the title of it, the rating, and year released for each one. All right, that one was pretty simple. That was just a warm up. Okay, now let's see the next one. Select the first and last name of each actor. Display the results in alphabetical order by last name. Okay, so again, this is pretty simple. Let's look at I'm going to do a describe actor. Let's look at that table. And we can see we have first name and last name in the table. And it wants us to uh, return the data uh, alphabetized by last name. Okay, so how do we do that? Going to select, let's get first underscore name, last underscore name, and let's do this. I'm going to say first name as first, comma, last underscore name as last. What I'm doing here is creating an alias. So in other words, saying, hey, instead of it reading first underscore name, it's going to read first. And then instead of reading last underscore name, it's going to read last. Okay. And say from actor. And then we can say order by last underscore name. So we're adding a little wrinkle right here. This is just going to change the table header. Okay. So let's copy this and paste. And there we have every single actor. We have a total of 70. We have a total of 70. And you can see that it is alphabetized by the last name. So another one that was pretty easy. I'll let you get by with that one. All right, let's move on. Okay. And the next one says select every movie that begins with the letter G. So we're going back to the movie table. And I probably should have been a little more specific with this, but I think you understand it's like, human language. So we want every movie really where the title begins with the letter G. That's what we want. Okay. So we're going to say, hey, select, we'll just get the title from movie. And then again, here we use the where clause, okay, because we have some sort of condition here, because we don't want every movie. The condition that has to be satisfied is that the first letter of the title begins with the letter G. Okay, so whenever there is a condition like so, we use the where clause. So I'm going to say where, like say title, and here I don't say where title is G. I don't do that. Remember, we say where like, so we use the like keyword, where like, and here what we do is, since we want every movie whose that begins with the letter G, we use our wild card. Okay, and the way that looks again, we don't care about what comes after the first letter. We just want the first letter to be G. Okay, so I'm going to say where like, and I open quotes because I had to type this as a string. Okay, I'm going to put a G right there. And then because I don't care what it looks like afterwards, I put the wildcard symbol, which is a percent sign. So this here says, hey, the first letter is G, and then everything else can be whatever. It doesn't matter what follows. So select title from movie where title like G. I'm going to copy this and paste it. Hopefully this works. And it does. It returns two movies, Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men, because those are the only two movies. Yep, right there, that begin with the letter G. So that one is successful. Again, remember, when you have some kind of condition that needs to be met, like so, we're using the where clause, okay? And then we're looking for all the titles that begin with a certain letter, where title like, we use the like keyword, and then we had to employ our wildcards. Okay. So here's another one that is going to use a wildcard. Select every actor whose last name ends with the letter N. I don't know why anybody would do this, but we got to be able to do it. Okay. So let's say select. Let's get the first name. Oh, and I didn't show you. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about that, let's come back here and look at the actor table, and you see again here, instead of it reading first underscore name, it just reads first and last. Because again, we said as first and as last, so we can create aliases here. So like here, I can say select first name as F if I want to. Say last name as L. Okay. No, not you. You. From the actor table, and again, we're going to say where, because we have a condition that needs to be met, where the last name is like. And here, what we're going to do, we're concerned about the last letter of the alphabet, well, the last letter in the name rather than the first name, the first letter rather. I'm sorry. So we're concerned about the last letter. So here I'm going to say percent and N and semicolon. Okay. So what this is going to do, this is going to look at the last name and say, hey, is the does the last name end with the letter N? And if so, that is going to be what gets returned in the query. I see a question. Do the queries represent the user asking the internet server question? Yes, it does. So you could think about, if you're on the web and say you're shopping for vehicles, okay, and you say, hey, and you start typing in, maybe you're looking for all the electric vehicles that are in the dealership. So you would type, EL, and then something will pop up, or electric, and then you type electric in, or you click electric, and what that will do is it'll send a query out to the database. Hey, select all the vehicles in the database who are, I don't know what you call, who motor or what have you is electric. Okay. And then it'll collect those and return that data back to the user. So let's look at that. Here we go. I'm gonna copy this and paste. And here you can see again, there's F and L for first and last, and it has returned every actor whose last name ends with the letter N. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, those are pretty basic. All right, now what we want to do is we want to get into some different queries. We want to write some queries that involve joins. All right, so the first one says select every movie that is a comedy. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to go through the database. Well, we're going to go through the movie database, and we need to connect it to the genre database. So let's start off with that. So we're gonna say select. Let's get movie ID title. Well, let's change this up. We're gonna select m dot movie underscore ID, comma m dot title, and we'll say g dot genre from movie M, because again that M here in this M dot movie and M dot title, those M's mean movie, represents movie. So we're saying the movie table, movie ID field, the movie table, the title field. And then what we want to do is we want to join genre G, okay, and we can say on m dot movie. Oh no. We had to, yeah, we got, that's right. We're using pivot tables here. Yeah, we got to use a pivot table. And I don't think we've done a pivot, looked at a pivot table yet. So what we're going to do with this pivot table, we have to connect the movie table to the movie to genre table. And then we're going to connect the movie to genre table to the genre table. So we had to use these three tables to connect the movie and genre. That's what we got to do. So select m dot movie ID, m dot title, g dot genre from movie M, and here we're going to join movie to genre, and I'll just say MTG on m dot movie underscore ID is equal to MTG dot movie underscore ID. Okay, yep. And then what we're going to do is we're going to join genre G on MTG dot genre underscore ID is equal to G dot genre underscore ID. So here we go. We're going to start with this. We're going to build on it. Okay. So select m dot movie ID, m dot title, g dot genre for movie M. Join movie to genre MTG on m dot movie ID is equal to MTG dot movie ID. Join genre G on MTG dot genre ID is equal to G dot genre ID. Okay, so this is going to be a quite the list. Okay, just letting you know. So we're going to copy this and paste this, and let's see what happens when we do that. All right, when we do that, it gives us 38 rows. Why is it giving us 38 rows, you may ask? Because we only have 15 movies. Well, some movies we know have more than one genre. And so that's what it's doing here, is taking the movie title and whatever genre it's listed under, it pairs it up with that. So here we see Sharknado is action, Sharknado is B movie, Sharknado is horror, Sharknado is sci-fi. Same thing, Shrek, animated, comedy, fantasy, blah blah blah, Black Dynamite. So it's taking all the movies and attaching it to whatever genre it is. And so it looks like this. Okay. Now, this is not exactly what we wanted. Okay. We wanted it where we wanted only the comedies. Okay. So let's fix this up. So one thing I'm going to do to fix this up is here on my join, because this is long. This is why I'm joining movie to genre. You know what? I think, yeah, I think this would work. Instead of this on statement right there, I'm gonna matter of fact, let me just gonna comment this out. Well, I'm gonna copy this first. Yeah, I'm gonna paste. I don't need to comment it out because this is just kind of like my worksheet. So I'm gonna copy and paste it right here. And instead of on right there, I'm gonna say what is it? Using. Yeah, using movie underscore ID. And then here, instead of on right there, I'm gonna say using genre ID. And I'm not sure if this is going to work. I don't think I've ever tried it this way before. When I do pivot tables, it may or may not work. We'll see. We're going to copy, paste. Nope, that still works. Okay, cool. So that works. So instead of saying on m.movie ID equals mtg.movie ID, I just use using. Okay. Because the name of the fields are the same. Okay. And again, this is why naming conventions are very important, and you want to really put some thought into what you name your fields, what you name your tables. Okay. Even what you name your primary and foreign keys. Those things are kind of important. Okay. So let's shorten it up a little bit. And now what I want to do to end this, I want to say where these had to be comedies. So I can say g.genre is equal to comedy. So this should return the movies that are comedies. I don't know how many comedies I have in there, but we'll see. So here you go. We got 5 movies. Shrek, Black Dynamite, Grumpy Old Men, and Spaceballs. So, think about you're on blockbuster.com and you want to select certain movies, you say, hey, give me all the comedies because you want to watch a good comedy on a Friday night. Then this is how you would do it. Okay, well, this is what's happening rather. We went to the movie table, and then we had the comedy table, and we needed to join those two tables together. And in order for us to join those two tables together, we had to use the movie to genre pivot table. So that is where those two tables meet. And then we were able to pull the data out from it, like so, to return to us every movie that is a comedy. All right. So cool. With that in mind, same thing here, kind of, sort of. Select every movie that is available on Hulu. Okay, so I know I need to use my movie to streaming platform. My movie to streaming platform table. Let me see what that looks like. Again, I'm going to describe. No, show tables rather. So movie to streaming, that's the one I'm using, and then streaming platform. Okay, so let me describe streaming platform. So it's streaming platform ID and streaming platform. Okay, so here we go. I need a reference so I can see what these fields are called, so that I can make sure that I write the query out correctly and I'm calling on the correct field. So here we go. Select when m.movie, comma, no, not m.movie, m.title rather. I'm not concerned about the ID right now. Select m.title, and we'll also take the rating as well. Let's say m.rating and m.runtime. Let's add a little more stuff to it. We don't have to, but we can, so we will. Select m.title, m.rating, m.runtime, and I'll say sp.streaming platform from movie M. Oh, what in the world is it? Oh, I did. One of my good old snippets. From movie M. Okay, we're going to join MT. I said movie rather to streaming, and I'll call it MTS, using movie underscore ID, join movie, no, join streaming platform using streaming platform ID. And I don't think I need this MTS here. I'm not using that, but I am using that stream platform. So that needs join streaming platform. That needs to be SP right here because I'm using that up here. Okay. So join streaming platform SP using stream platform, and I can say where SP dot streaming platform is equal to, if I can write, Hulu. So we're going to get the title, the rating, runtime, and streaming platform from movie M. Join movie to streaming. So that will connect the movie table to the movie to streaming table using movie ID. And then we're going to join the streaming platform using streaming platform ID. So that will join the streaming platform to the movie to streaming table. And then we're going to say where streaming platform is equal to Hulu. So everything that is available on Hulu. And I'm going to paste it. And we got 2 movies that are on Hulu. We have Black Orpheus and we have Spaceballs. All right. And there's a runtime for each one as well as the rating. Cool. All right. So it looks like we got 2 more to go. So here, let's see, it says select every actor that was in the movie The Natural. Okay. So here we need to join the movie table to the actor table. So we're going to, just like we did with the other ones, we're going to get the, we're going to select all the actors where they were in the movie The Natural. Okay. So let's say select a dot first name, a dot last underscore name, and then we'll say m dot title from actor, there I go again, actor A join movie to actor using actor underscore ID. join movie M using movie underscore ID where M dot title is equal to the, the natural. So again, same thing here. Same thing here. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy. Yes, I do think there's the one standing Blockbuster. I think it's in Washington, if I'm not mistaken. I can talk because I'm Blockbuster alumni. You know, class of 2000. Was I? Did I work there in '99? I think '99 and 2000. I worked in Blockbuster for a couple summers. And there we go. There goes there goes the five actors that we have listed that were in the movie The Natural. Okay. There we go. I remember this is maybe 2000 and probably 11 or 12, something like that, something around that time. And I got a call. uh Oh, it's in Oregon. Okay, yeah. I knew it was somewhere up there in the Pacific Northwest. I got a call from somebody at Blockbuster, and no, I didn't get a call. I got some mail, like it was a collection or whatever, saying that I owed Blockbuster for it was like 5 movies that I hadn't even rented. I remember one of them was like, was it The Life of Pi? So whenever that came out, um, and I knew like by that time I started using Netflix, and so back when Netflix was sending out DVDs, uh, physical media by mail, I was using, and I got The Life of Pi that way, and so I contacted them, and I'm like, yeah, I just got this in the mail saying that I owe you all, $89 or whatever it is. And it's like, yeah, yeah. So it looks like you bring those movies. Said, nah, homie, like I did not. And I can tell you, I haven't been to Blockbuster in a couple years. Um, yeah, that didn't happen. And this particular movie, I know I didn't rent from y'all because I got it from Netflix. Oh well, well they're gonna have you in collections, and they'll threaten to garnish. I said, man, listen, I worked at Blockbuster. Okay, I noticed like I had to make those cold calls to customers to remind them to bring their movies back. I know what that's like. You're not getting any money from me, okay? Like that's not gonna happen, buddy. You can keep that. Yeah. We say there was a Hudson Treasure Hunt. They got a ton of Blockbuster movies and video game. Ooh wee. Oh yeah, and the cheap, right? $2. Man, what a time. They were like, this no one's gonna wanna like order their movies by mail. That's not going to work. They want to come in and grab the movie and pay, $5 a day if it's late. That's what they want to do. Boy, oh boy, ate them alive. Anyways, and now Netflix is heading towards trash. Well, they've been heading towards trash. Never mind. Netflix, give me $1. Okay, that's right. This is on YouTube. Netflix, I need some money. Everyone needs to be using Netflix. Okay, and not only every single person has their own account with Netflix, okay? So none of that, sharing accounts. No, everyone gets their own account, okay? Netflix. All right. Give me $1. Give me $12. All right, here we go. Select every comedy that was released in the 1990s decade. Okay, so we got a couple things going on here. We're going to select every movie that's a comedy, but it also has to have been released in the 1990s. Okay, and I don't know I don't know how many there are in here. I think maybe 2, but we'll see. So we're gonna say select m.title, and we'll take the genre. Well, we'll take the year released as well. So m.year released, and then we'll take the Destiny. I have some VHS tapes. Holla at me. Well, I don't have some, but my mom has a bunch of them that she keeps in the shed. So I went and grabbed like the cool ones I wanted, and I took them to my favorite coffee shop because they have a VHS player there, and I knew you'd appreciate them. I also took some over to Offbeat shop at Offbeat. That's for real. Took some to Offbeat here in Jackson. They have a VCR there, so but yeah, I got what you need. Anyway, select m.title, m.year released, and we want the g.genre. Okay, from the movie table, movie M. Okay, and we're going to join. There I go again. We want to join movie to genre. Yep. Using movie underscore ID, and we want to join genre G using genre ID. Here we're going to say where G dot genre is equal to comedy. Here what we need to do is we're going to combine another clause. So we can say and, because we want the movie, the year release, to be in between the 90s. So in the 90s. So we can say and m dot year released between we'll say, was it 1980? No, this 90s. 1990 and 19 and I say in 2000. So we got a bunch of stuff going on here. All right. So again, we're getting the title, the year released, and the genre from the movie. We're going to join movie to genre using the movie ID. And then we're going to join the genre table using the genre ID, where the genre is equal to comedy and the year release is between 1990 and 2000. I think it's going to return 2. And that's it. Let's see. Copy and paste. Oh, we got an error here. M.year release. I misspelled it right there. Yeah, spell that out. That needs to be just YR. Oh. Okay. There we go. Maybe this works now. Yep. That's it. 2 comedies. Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. Okay. So this is just a little practice right here on queries. We're going to write some more queries on the table, figure out how to do some other things, and even just get some more practice with these ones that we're doing right here. Okay. Because again, practice makes better. All right. Nobody's going to be perfect at this, but you can get better at this each and every single time. Understanding what these clauses mean and putting them together in a logical way to get the data that we want. Okay, that's what we want to do. So with that being said, I'm going to stop this video here, and I encourage you to practice some more with these and others. add some more data to the database. Okay. If you want to, and just work through it. Okay. You will get better if you continue to practice. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to get angry and upset and stuff because things aren't working. When that happens, take a step back. When I'm learning, even when I'm not learning, when I'm just doing and I'm getting frustrated because it's not clicking for me, um, I will take a step back. I'll pause what I'm doing. Um, maybe I'll go read a comic book that I got at Offbeat, shop at Offbeat. But I'll read a comic book or listen to some music, or maybe I'll watch a little TV, something to just take my mind away for a little bit, give myself a break, and then I come back into the work. And usually in those spaces where I'm away from the coding, then that's where that aha moment, the light bulb turns on, and I can figure out how to solve my problem. Sometimes it takes that. Anyways, all that to say, don't give up. All right. So yeah, we're gonna end this video, and I will see you on the other side of this.